Stay right there and don't move. I'm finding drugs in your vehicle just like I knew I would. People like you always have something illegal. The fabricated discovery rang through the traffic stop as police officer Derek Martinez aggressively planted a bag of cocaine in the black man's car while his body cam recorded everything. He waved the planted evidence with law enforcement authority, completely unaware that the HD footage would be reviewed by Internal Affairs within 48 hours and destroy his 15-year police career. Let me take you back to 9:47 p.m. on a Thursday night in downtown Chicago, where criminal police corruption would be exposed by the very technology meant to protect officers, transforming law enforcement accountability forever. Officer Derek Martinez had been with the Chicago Police Department for 15 years, building what appeared to be a solid career in law enforcement. But beneath his professional exterior, Martinez had developed a pattern of targeting minority drivers for arrests based on planted evidence rather than actual crimes. Over the past 3 years, Martinez had perfected what he considered foolproof methods for ensuring arrests and convictions. He carried small bags of narcotics that he would plant during searches, then discover as evidence of criminal activity. His arrest record was impressive, his conviction rate was high, and his supervisors praised his proactive policing. What Martinez didn't fully understand was that his department-issued body cam recorded everything in high definition, storing footage that could be reviewed by supervisors, internal affairs, or courts. He had grown comfortable with the cameras, assuming that his quick movements and strategic positioning would prevent clear documentation of his evidence planting. Tonight's shift was routine, patrol in District 12, an area Martinez had worked for 5 years. He knew the neighborhood, the typical traffic patterns, and the kind of suspicious activity that would justify stops and searches. All he needed was the right target. At 9:47 p.m., Martinez observed a black man driving a 2018 Honda Accord through the downtown area. The driver was following all traffic laws, maintaining proper speed, and showing no signs of impairment or criminal activity. But to Martinez, the young black man represented an opportunity for an arrest that would boost his monthly statistics. Martinez activated his emergency lights and initiated what would be officially recorded as a routine traffic stop for minor violation. He had no legitimate reason for the stop, but planned to claim he observed improper lane usage or failure to signal. The driver, 28-year-old Marcus Johnson, pulled over immediately and followed proper procedures. He turned off his engine, placed his hands on the steering wheel, and waited for the officer to approach. Marcus was a social worker, returning home from his evening shift at a community center, carrying nothing illegal and having committed no crimes. Martinez approached the vehicle with his body cam automatically recording in high definition. The camera captured audio and video from his perspective, documenting everything he said and did during the encounter. "License and registration," Martinez demanded, without explanation for the stop. Marcus complied politely, providing his license and vehicle registration while asking, "Officer, can you tell me why you stopped me?" "I'll ask the questions here," Martinez replied, with the authority of someone who believed his badge granted unlimited power over citizens. Martinez examined Marcus's documents while fabricating justification for an extended detention and search. Marcus's license was valid, his registration was current, and his record showed no outstanding warrants or criminal history. "Step out of the vehicle," Martinez ordered, without legal justification. "Is there a problem with my documents?" Marcus asked calmly. "I said, step out of the vehicle now." Martinez escalated with artificial authority designed to create the appearance of resistance or suspicious behavior. Marcus complied immediately, exiting his vehicle with his hands visible. "Officer, I haven't done anything wrong. Can you please explain why?" "Turn around and place your hands on the vehicle," Martinez interrupted, beginning an illegal search without probable cause or consent. The body cam recorded every moment of Martinez's constitutional violations, documenting his lack of legal justification for the detention and search. But Martinez was focused on the arrest he planned to manufacture, not the evidence he was creating of his own criminal behavior. "I'm going to search your vehicle for contraband," Martinez announced, using official language to mask what would about to become evidence planting. "Officer, I don't consent to any search," Marcus stated clearly, exercising his constitutional rights. As Marcus stood against his vehicle with his hands placed on the roof, Martinez began what appeared to be a legitimate vehicle search. His body cam recorded him opening the driver's door and beginning to examine the interior. What the camera also recorded was Martinez discreetly reaching into his own pocket and retrieving a small plastic bag containing what appeared to be cocaine. In one fluid motion, he placed the bag under the driver's seat while announcing his search of that area. "Stay right there and don't move," Martinez called out dramatically. "I'm finding drugs in your vehicle, just like I knew I would. People like you always have something illegal." The body cam captured Martinez's racist commentary while documenting his evidence planting. He then reached under the seat where he had just placed the drugs and pulled out the bag with theatrical surprise. "Well, well, what do we have here?" Martinez announced loudly, holding up the planted evidence. "Looks like someone's been carrying cocaine. This is going to be a very bad day for you." Marcus turned around in shock. "Officer, that's not mine. I've never seen that before in my life." "They all say that," Martinez replied with satisfaction, placing the planted drugs in an evidence bag. "You're under arrest for possession of a controlled substance." Martinez handcuffed Marcus while continuing his performance for what he assumed was an audience of one. He didn't realize that his body cam was creating a permanent record that would be reviewed by multiple people. "You have the right to remain silent." Martinez began reading Miranda rights to a man he had just framed for a crime. "Officer, I'm telling you that's not my drugs. I work with at-risk youth. I would never use or carry illegal substances." "Save it for the judge," Martinez replied, dismissively. "Your story might work better if you didn't look like every other drug dealer I arrest." The body cam recorded Martinez's racist assumptions and his satisfaction at successfully planting evidence. He believed he had executed another flawless frame-up that would result in conviction and enhance his arrest statistics. "I'm calling a tow truck for your vehicle. It'll be impounded as evidence in a drug case." Marcus's life was being destroyed by police corruption, but he remained calm and cooperative, hoping that the truth would eventually emerge. He had no idea that the evidence of his innocence was being recorded by the very officer who was framing him. During the transport to the police station, Martinez continued his racist commentary, unaware that his body cam was still recording everything. "You people always think you're smarter than the police," Martinez said while driving, "but we know what you're really about. I've been doing this for 15 years and I can spot a drug dealer from a mile away." Marcus remained silent, exercising his right not to respond to the officer's provocations. But the body cam recorded Martinez's admission that he had targeted Marcus based on racial profiling rather than evidence of criminal activity. At the police station, Martinez completed the booking process while maintaining his fabricated narrative about discovering drugs during a routine traffic stop, then filled out reports claiming he had observed suspicious behavior that justified the stop and search, then discovered cocaine hidden in the vehicle. The arresting officer's report would become part of the official record, but the body cam footage would tell a different story when it was eventually reviewed. Marcus spent the night in jail before appearing before a judge for his initial hearing. He had contacted his sister, who arranged for a criminal defense attorney to represent him. Defense attorney Sarah Kim reviewed the police report and noticed several inconsistencies in Martinez's account of the traffic stop. The officer claimed to have observed multiple traffic violations, but couldn't specify the exact time or location. His description of Marcus's suspicious behavior was vague and generic. Mr. Johnson, Attorney Kim explained, "Officer Martinez is claiming he found cocaine in your vehicle during a lawful search. He's charging you with possession of a controlled substance, which carries serious penalties." "Miss Kim, I swear to you that I have never used drugs and I've never seen that bag before," Marcus insisted. "That officer planted those drugs. I watched him do it." "That's a very serious accusation," Kim replied. "Police officers are generally believed by judges and juries. Do you have any evidence to support your claim?" "The officer was wearing a body cam. Wouldn't that record what really happened?" Attorney Kim made a note to request the body cam footage as part of the discovery process. She had handled cases where body cam evidence contradicted police reports, but evidence planting was a serious allegation that would require clear proof. Defense attorney Kim filed a motion requesting all evidence related to Marcus's arrest, including the body cam footage from Officer Martinez. This was standard procedure in criminal cases, but it would trigger the review process that would expose Martinez's corruption. The prosecutor handling Marcus's case, Assistant District Attorney Michael Thompson, was required to provide all evidence to the defense. This included police reports, witness statements, physical evidence, and any recorded footage from the incident. When Thompson requested the body cam footage from the police department, it triggered a routine review by the Digital Evidence Unit. Sergeant Patricia Rodriguez was assigned to extract and catalog the relevant footage from Martinez's camera. Rodriguez had been reviewing body cam footage for 3 years and had developed an eye for inconsistencies and suspicious behavior. As she watched Martinez's footage from the traffic stop, she immediately noticed several red flags. "That's interesting," Rodriguez muttered as she watched Martinez's movements during the vehicle search. She rewound the footage and watched again, paying close attention to his hand movements and positioning. What she saw was clear evidence of Martinez placing something in the vehicle before discovering it moments later. Sergeant Rodriguez immediately contacted her supervisor about the suspicious body cam footage. Within hours, the case had been referred to Internal Affairs for investigation of potential police misconduct. Detective Lieutenant Jennifer Williams was assigned to lead the investigation into Martinez's conduct. She had 20 years of experience investigating police corruption and knew evidence planting when she saw it. "This is clear as day," Williams told her supervisor after reviewing the footage. "Martinez plants the drugs under the seat, then pretends to find them during his search. The camera captures everything." When Internal Affairs discovered evidence of systematic civil rights violations, they were required to notify the FBI and the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division. Evidence planting by police officers constituted federal crimes under civil rights statutes. FBI Special Agent David Kim was assigned to investigate Martinez's pattern of civil rights violations. The federal investigation would examine all of Martinez's arrests over the past 3 years to identify other victims of evidence planting. "We're looking at potential charges of deprivation of rights under color of law," Agent Kim explained to his team. "If Martinez has been systematically planting evidence, we're talking about dozens of innocent people who were wrongfully convicted." The federal investigation quickly identified patterns in Martinez's arrest reports.
He consistently arrested minority suspects for drug possession, often claiming to find small amounts of narcotics in vehicles or on suspects' persons. His conviction rate was unusually high, and his arrests rarely involved actual witnesses to drug activity. This looks like systematic evidence planting targeting minority communities, Agent Kim reported to federal prosecutors. As the investigation expanded, authorities began reviewing all physical evidence from Martinez's arrests. The forensic analysis revealed that the drugs found in different cases often came from the same larger quantities, suggesting they had been divided into smaller bags for planting. Crime lab technician Dr. Lisa Chen analyzed the cocaine allegedly found in Marcus's vehicle. The purity and chemical composition matched samples from 3 other cases involving Officer Martinez. It appears these drugs came from the same source. The pattern was clear. Martinez had been using drugs seized in other cases to plant evidence in new arrests, creating a cycle of false convictions that had sent innocent people to prison. Victim Services Coordinator Robert Jackson began the difficult process of contacting people who had been wrongfully convicted based on Martinez's planted evidence. We've identified 47 cases over 3 years where Martinez's arrests followed the same pattern. Each wrongful conviction represented years of destroyed lives, lost employment, damaged families, and shattered trust in the justice system. When news of Martinez's arrest for evidence planting broke, it became a national story about police corruption and criminal justice reform. The Bodycam footage, released by court order, provided undeniable proof of systematic police misconduct. News reporter Jennifer Chen obtained exclusive access to the investigation documents. Officer Derek Martinez used his position of authority to systematically frame innocent people for crimes they didn't commit. Bodycam footage shows him planting drugs in a suspect's vehicle, then arresting that person based on the fabricated evidence. The story sparked outrage in the community and calls for comprehensive police reform. Community leaders demanded accountability not just for Martinez, but for the supervisors who had failed to detect his pattern of corruption. How many innocent people are sitting in prison because of corrupt officers like Martinez? Asked community advocate Maria Rodriguez. This Bodycam footage proves that police accountability technology only works if someone actually reviews it.
Martinez was arrested and charged with multiple federal civil rights violations, evidence tampering, perjury, and conspiracy. The charges carried potential sentences of up to 20 years in federal prison. Federal prosecutor William Thompson announced the indictment at a press conference. Officer Martinez violated the most basic principles of law enforcement by planting evidence and systematically targeting innocent citizens for arrest. This behavior is not just criminal, it's a betrayal of public trust. Marcus Johnson's charges were immediately dismissed, and he filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Martinez and the Chicago Police Department. My client spent months facing serious criminal charges because a corrupt police officer decided to destroy his life, attorney Sarah Kim stated. The civil lawsuit sought damages for false imprisonment, civil rights violations, emotional distress, and the impact on Marcus's career and reputation. The Martinez case prompted comprehensive reforms in police accountability and Bodycam oversight. The Chicago Police Department implemented new policies requiring supervisory review of all Bodycam footage from arrests, especially those involving evidence discoveries. Police Superintendent Patricia Williams announced the changes. Officer Martinez's criminal behavior was captured on Bodycam, but it wasn't detected until a defense attorney requested the footage. We're implementing immediate reforms to ensure this never happens again.
The reforms included random audits of arrest footage, mandatory training on constitutional policing, and civilian oversight of internal affairs investigations. Every officer would be required to undergo annual training on civil rights and evidence handling. Technology is only effective if we use it properly, Superintendent Williams explained. These reforms ensure that body cam footage serves its intended purpose of protecting both officers and citizens. As the investigation identified more of Martinez's victims, the city established a comprehensive support program for people who had been wrongfully convicted based on planted evidence. Victim Services Director Lisa Johnson coordinated the effort to contact and assist Martinez's victims. "We've identified 47 people who were wrongfully arrested and convicted based on Officer Martinez's evidence planting," she announced. "Each of these individuals deserves justice and support." The support program included criminal record expungement, compensation for wrongful conviction, job placement assistance, and mental health services. Many victims had lost employment, housing, and family relationships because of their false convictions. Marcus Johnson became an advocate for other victims. "I was lucky that my attorney fought for the body cam footage," he said. "But dozens of other people weren't as fortunate. They deserve the same opportunity for justice." The Victim Support Program became a model for addressing systematic police corruption and helping communities heal from law enforcement misconduct. 2 years after his arrest, Derek Martinez was convicted on all federal charges and sentenced to 18 years in federal prison. The judge emphasized that police officers who violate civil rights faced enhanced penalties because of their position of trust. Officer Martinez used his badge and authority to systematically destroy innocent lives, Judge William Chen stated during sentencing. The 47 victims of Martinez's evidence planting received over $23 million in civil rights settlements. More importantly, comprehensive police reforms ensured that systematic corruption would be detected and stopped before destroying more lives. Marcus Johnson completed his graduate degree and became a police accountability advocate, working to ensure that body cam technology was used to protect civil rights rather than just law enforcement officers. "My false arrest was traumatic, but it exposed a corrupt officer who had been destroying lives for years," Marcus reflected. "Sometimes the most important thing technology can do is reveal the truth." The Chicago Police Department became a national model for body cam accountability and police corruption prevention. The Martinez case proved that transparency and oversight were essential for maintaining public trust in law enforcement. Marcus kept a copy of his dismissal order in his office, not as a reminder of the injustice he faced, but as proof that accountability was possible when systems worked properly. The body cam footage that was meant to protect Officer Martinez instead protected the community from his corruption. Law enforcement learned that technology designed for accountability only worked when it was actively used for accountability. Police departments that embraced transparency and oversight were more effective at building community trust and preventing corruption. And for thousands of citizens, interactions with police were no longer presumed to be honest and lawful. They understood that accountability required active oversight and that justice depended on people willing to demand it. Epilogue: the truth that changed everything. Today, the Chicago Police Department's Training Academy displays Martinez's body cam footage as an example of how corruption can be detected and prosecuted. New officers learn that their cameras protect honest policing and expose criminal behavior. Marcus Johnson still works in the community but now focuses on police accountability and criminal justice reform.
His experience taught him that individual corruption could be addressed, but systematic change required community engagement and political will. Martinez's case became required study in police academies nationwide, teaching officers about the consequences of evidence planting and civil rights violations. The Bodycam footage serves as undeniable proof that police corruption can be documented and prosecuted. And across law enforcement agencies nationwide, the phrase Martinez case has become synonymous with the importance of accountability technology and active oversight in preventing police corruption. Because sometimes the most important evidence you can capture is proof that justice still works.